Fleetwood Mac, a band built on love, heartbreak, and music that defined a generation. But behind the harmonies, the rumors, and the stage lights, there were opinions. Sharp ones. Because when you've lived through decades of fame, chaos, and betrayal, you form strong views about the world of music. And Fleetwood Mac? They were never afraid to say what they really thought. Today we uncover 5 artists Fleetwood Mac couldn't stand, and why. Number 5. The Eagles. It's hard to imagine now, but in the 1970s, the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac were often mentioned in the same breath. Both were chart-topping, harmony-driven rock bands with messy personal lives and massive egos. But Stevie Nicks once admitted that there was tension, especially between the men. She said, "We respected them, but there was always this invisible rivalry." Behind closed doors, the band felt the Eagles were too polished, too corporate, chasing perfection at the expense of emotion. Mick Fleetwood once said, "We were messy, emotional, they were business." And for Fleetwood Mac, music wasn't about playing it safe, it was about bleeding for the song. Number 4. Sex Pistols. Fleetwood Mac came from a world of melody, harmony, and emotional storytelling. So when punk exploded in the late 70s, the band didn't know what to make of it. The Sex Pistols called bands like Fleetwood Mac dinosaur rock. They mocked the long hair, the polished production, the emotional lyrics. Lindsey Buckingham fired back in an interview saying, "Anyone can scream into a mic, but not everyone can write dreams." To Fleetwood Mac, punk wasn't rebellion. It was laziness disguised as anger. And that divide between art and chaos never healed. Number 3. Elvis Costello. In the late 1970s, Elvis Costello was the critics' darling, clever, biting, and brutally honest. But not everyone appreciated his sharp tongue. Fleetwood Mac, already exhausted from internal drama, found his attitude smug. Christine McVie once said, "He's clever, sure, but clever doesn't make it beautiful." Costello famously dismissed soft rock bands, calling them music for people who are afraid of silence. That stung. To Fleetwood Mac, songs like Landslide and Songbird weren't weak. They were honest. And honesty, not sarcasm, was their language. Number 2, the Rolling Stones. Now this one surprises people. Fleetwood Mac admired the Stones' success, but not always their behavior. Mick Fleetwood respected Mick Jagger's charisma, but felt their arrogance soured the art. He once said, "They were gods who forgot they were human." During the late 70s, both bands crossed paths at festivals and parties. And while the Stones lived for excess, Fleetwood Mac was collapsing under it. There was jealousy, resentment, and more than a few cutting remarks in interviews. The rivalry was never open war, but it was there. Fleetwood Mac wanted to be taken seriously as artists, not just rock stars. The Stones didn't care, and that's what drove them mad. Number 1, their own rivals, Fleetwood Mac themselves. In the end, the band's greatest enemy wasn't anyone outside, it was each other. Stevie and Lindsey, Christine and John, Mick and his demons. Fleetwood Mac didn't just fight with other artists. They fought with the reflection in the mirror. The truth? No other artist hurt them, inspired them, or pushed them like the people within their own circle. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every whispered insult became a lyric. Fleetwood Mac didn't need enemies. They were their own.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.